I first met Matt during the '94 earthquake. And back then, I think were you captain then, Matt? Matt was a captain, so I mean, he wasn't that far up the food chain at that point. And the way he conducted himself was somebody that really cared about the community. And he would do whatever it would take to make sure that the citizens were being served and that the city was getting everything that we needed. He really lives public service. And people talk about a fire service being a 24/7 job. That was Matt Gill. I mean, he didn't care whether it was Sunday. He didn't care whether he worked yesterday. He didn't care where it was, what it was. When we needed something, he was always there and available for it. He was very much a team player. The staff of his always spoke very highly of him. My executive team, to a person, everybody liked him and respected him. And the other thing about Chief Gill is he was great at getting fires put out. That's a big plus in a fire chief. I mean, you think about some of the fires that we had in this area, the Simi fire, the Buckwheat fire, the Tunnel fire, all those fires in the Placerita Canyon. All of those, I mean, the fire department just performed in an extraordinary manner. And more importantly, there were a lot of fires that stayed 5-acre fires because Matt would make sure that the staffing was here, that the equipment was here before the fire started. He would watch all of those weather reports, and when the fire conditions got dangerous, he would use all his clout to get all of that staffing and equipment up here in advance. He also did more than anybody at making sure that we get these new fire stations built that are moving forward now. So, Matt, I tell you, you are really the personification of a public sector safety professional, and I'm very proud of you and wish you the best in your retirement. Thank you for all your service.
Now, I'm going to afford you an opportunity to make a couple of comments, but if you don't mind, I'm going to hold off just for a moment because I'd like to invite Ed Masterson forward. Ed is a field deputy for Assemblyman Cameron Smythe, and I believe he has a presentation.
I'm more nervous than here than fighting fire.
Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate the opportunity to come up for just a moment and congratulate Chief Gill on his retirement. And Matt, Councilmember Ferry, Mayor Pro Tem Ferry, excuse me, said some great things about you, as did Mayor Keller and our City Manager Ken Pulskamp. I would like to say tonight here on behalf of Cameron Smythe, our Assemblyman for this area, I'd like to first of all congratulate you on serving such a distinguished and amazing career with the LA County Fire Department, but also to say thank you. Thank you very much. We've all seen firsthand the great work that our LA County Fire Department does on our behalf. I'd like to thank you for protecting the citizens that have been under your jurisdiction all these years. I'd like to thank you also for the leadership and guidance you've provided to the men and women of the LA County Fire Department who have served under your command. And I'd like to say what Bob said. I think you are a classy gentleman, and I feel lucky to know you and proud to call you a friend. So on behalf of Assemblyman Smythe here this evening, congratulations.
Matt, if I may, I'd like to invite you up here, if you'd join us up here for a photo, and then I want to give you an opportunity to say a couple of words.
High school graduation?
Thanks, here. Well, it's been a great honor. You know, number one, my family has been outstanding for me. From my wife's side, they're here tonight, and my father. You know, the touch of Santa Clarita, like I said, I was down for 15 years here. I was on hazmat over here at Fire Station 76, you know, for 14 years. And the mall was my first fire prevention project. I met the consultants from St. Louis, came out here, I walked over here to the city and sat with the city and said, okay, this is what we're going to build. And this is the first huge thing that we built in Santa Clarita, and that was my project. We have the best smoke protection system over there, the state of the art that hasn't even been matched through the whole country over there to keep the public safe. So from the very beginning with the residents, I got to commend the residents of Santa Clarita taking a hold of their community from their children to themselves to the government level that made this all work together. And the trust that was built within that grew me to be me here, the fire chief in Santa Clarita. For our firefighters, over 2/3 of those firefighters that work here in Santa Clarita live in Santa Clarita proper. They raise their children here. They're proud of their community. They work. They work hard and they're very proud. We try to work to reduce those response times to get those fire stations there, because that's our guys' children that may be responded at 7-8 minutes out. That's just common sense. So it's just a community-based strength, dedication, and love for each one of us that allowed me to do my job, allow my men to do, or my past men, retirement's been good. No, my men here that, you know, the LA County Fire Department to do their job. We're starting brush season again. It's the residents that go out there and clear their brush for us to have an opportunity to go out there and save those properties, you know, the things that you attach to. So I just give the credit to the community, to God, my family, and the love for all of us. I appreciate it, and thank you for letting me serve you for the last 15 years.
One more big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. You betcha. Thank you very much. We can give her the.
There we go. Before Chief Gail gets away, I just want to say publicly that Chief Gail personifies the qualities of a great American leader, and he did more for this valley in that position than I can ever remember, and he struggled and surpassed all expectations. He took us through some of the worst disasters that we had ever faced, and I just want to personally thank him for being the great leader he is. And I'm sure that to all the men that work with him, Chief Gail was really the guy they want to be like, and we're so proud to have had him here. We're going to miss him a lot, but you know, hopefully you're going to have a great time with retirement. So thank you, Chief Gail, for all you did for us.
Thank you. We're going to move on now to recognitions, and I'm going to call upon Lori Ender to make the next one.
Thank you very much, Mayor. I am so honored tonight to be able to give some recognition to what some people consider a team. Having watched them, they're actually a family, and that's the 2008 Valencia High School Vikings varsity boys volleyball team, who is the #1 high school volleyball team in the United States.
Woo!
The Vikings recently attended and won the CIF Division II championships, beating out last year's winner, Santa Barbara. This is the 4th time in the past 6 years that the varsity Vikings have won this honor. Each of you guys are role models for the young people in our community, and we are so proud to have you and this amazing group representing the city of Santa Clarita. I know that a lot of you are graduating and moving on, and for those of you that are left to carry on the torch, you have a big job to do next year. And I know that we are all very, very proud of you. And I just want to add one thing as you come up. Is Mr. Kerr here? Is Walt Kerr here? No. Jamie, don't raise your hand. Jamie, you can give your dad this message. At their banquet, they talked about how the Kerr dynasty is leaving Valencia High School, and the third of their boys is graduating. And I know I speak for all of the JV and freshman parents who were in attendance. We were hoping that Mr. Kerr was considering adoption, and I have two if he's looking, so you can pass that along, Jamie. I'm going to read their names. They are all up here. Coach Mark Knudsen, Assistant Coach Kevin Cornegay, Assistant David Neely, managers Abby Lopez, Assistant Coach Chris Savage, Manager Emily Bruza, Manager Shauna Gorlick, and the players John Griffith, Jim Boffman, Mitchell Morris, Eric Miyamoto, Derek Trent, Grant Boning, John Suisa, Nick Ferry, Skylar Seymour, Stephen Crane, Garrett Stedman, Gio Botten, Jamie Kerr, Jake Piva, and Cameron Clark. Great job, guys.
There you go. There's a leader.
Libero's in the front.
We got to tighten this group up.
Can I just
Lori,
kind
get
of
right up in
scooch
front.
right in here with you guys?
Reminds
Me of like when my son
Yeah, I think we are.
was proud mom.
Real quick, I did want to mention one thing. Their GPAs up here, this is really a bunch of scholar athletes. I mean, when we talk about student athletes, all of these guys up here, I think your average overall, Coach, I don't know if you remember of it, at the banquet, it was unbelievable the number of scholar athletes. They had over 3.0, 3.5. I think almost all of you seniors are going on to Division I school to play. I think 9 people had scholarships, athletic scholarships to Hawaii, Pepperdine, Santa Barbara, UCLA, Long Beach State, BYU, the list goes on. So this was a very outstanding group of young men, in addition to being volleyball players. So great job, guys. By the way, you guys, you want to keep walking to the back door. Unless you're going to be here till midnight, you just keep walking like it was part of the plan.
Take just a moment here and give a moment to settle down with the
You know,
room.
Mayor, it's just amazing how many different national honors and how many different sports and even in the arts and music, how many of our high schools and the kids are really excelling nationally. It's just unbelievable.
Been pretty impressive.
Really is.
Are you going to use your glass? Mine's got a serious leak. Go. Folks, we're going to have fun now. You planned that, didn't you?
Is that the agenda?
That's a sweet Lord if I've ever seen one. You're a sweetheart. Thank you, Lori. Saved my life.
Can you read the notes wet?
Anybody have a clothespin?
Don't get electrocuted.
All righty, let's move forward. As you know, this year, each month, we recognize some aspect of public safety. And the month of June is Personal Security and Safety Awareness Month. And I'd like to invite up Sergeant Greg Lewison to make a few remarks relevant to that. Sergeant?
Good evening. Boy, that was a couple of tough acts to follow. Yikes. Okay, we'll make it real quick here. Again, my name is Greg Lewison. I'm a sergeant for the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. I'm currently assigned to the Community Relations and Crime Prevention Office at Santa Clarita Station. Mayor Bob Keller has directed the city of Santa Clarita to partner with the Sheriff's Department in developing public safety months. This is a program developed to make public aware of various safety-related topics throughout the year. June is Personal Security and Safety Awareness Month. The Community Relations and Crime Prevention Office provides the most current and up-to-date information on crime trends and safety tips on how to protect yourself and your property. I would like to remind everyone that we all need to do our part to help reduce crime and to prevent crime in our community. As an example, car burglaries are generally crimes of opportunity, and most can be prevented by following 3 simple guidelines. Don't leave property in plain view. Don't leave purses or other valuables in your car. And most importantly, lock your car. In an effort to promote personal safety and how not to become a victim, we urge all residents to follow these simple preventative safety tips. Park and lock your car in lighted areas, and when returning to your car, have your keys ready in your hand. Be aware of your surroundings and the people around you, and walk in groups if possible. Purses with the shoulder strap should be carried across the body and pockets zipped up. Program the phone number to the Santa Clarita Sheriff's Station in your cell phone. The number is 255-1121. And as always, in emergency, call 911. An important home security tip: during the summer months, a lot of us like to keep our bedroom windows open during the night. This can be unsafe, especially for females living alone. So, we recommend that you lock all doors and windows before you go to sleep. If you insist on having a window open, then we suggest getting window locks, which secures the window in place. As we get into the summer months, so does the chance of heat and water-related emergencies and tragedies. Deputies from the Santa Clarita Station already responded to 2 swimming pool-related emergencies, and one of them, unfortunately, resulted in a tragic outcome. We would like to remind all residents to take a few extra precautions and follow some simple safety guidelines that will greatly reduce the possibility of heat or water-related emergencies. Drowning happens quickly and silently, often without any splashing or screaming. Never assume a pool gate is always secure. Oftentimes gates are accidentally left open or the locking mechanism is not working properly. The gate should be constructed so that it is self-latching and self-closing. Here are some other safety tips and guidelines to prevent water-related emergencies. No child, no matter how proficient a swimmer, should be left alone and unattended. The adult left in charge of watching children in or around a swimming pool should be proficient swimmer, know CPR and basic first aid, and know how to use rescue equipment. Install a phone by the pool or keep the cordless phone nearby so that you can call 911 in an emergency. The storage of pool chemicals should be in a secure, ventilated area away from out of reach of children. One of the most popular programs we have at the station is Neighborhood Watch. Neighborhood Watch is one of the oldest and most effective crime prevention programs in our country, bringing citizens together with law enforcement to deter crime and make communities safer. The program is designed to heighten community awareness of crime by providing local residents with the tools needed to be alert and protect themselves. Throughout the years, Neighborhood Watch programs have grown from an extra eyes and ears approach to a much more proactive community endeavor. Today, Neighborhood Watch groups are incorporating activities that not only address crime prevention issues, but also restore pride and unity to the neighborhood. We now hold quarterly Neighborhood Watch training meetings throughout the community, focusing on current crime trends, problem-solving techniques, and providing safety tips. On August 5th, we will be hosting the annual and nationwide National Night Out event. This event is to heighten crime and drug prevention. Let me say that again. This event is designed to heighten crime and drug prevention awareness and generate support for local anti-crime programs. It helps strengthen the neighborhood spirit and police community partnerships and sends a message to the criminals, letting them know that neighborhoods are organized and vigilant. All residents are being encouraged to turn on their porch lights all night to put a light on crime. Everyone is invited to be part of National Night Out, which will include refreshments, giveaways, the Sheriff's Posse, McGruff the Crime Dog, and informational brochures, and much more. We are still looking at several neighborhoods to hold this year's event, and we'll make that determination in about 30 days. Anyone interested in starting up a neighborhood watch in their neighborhood should contact the Santa Clarita Sheriff Station or visit our website at www.scvsheriff.com. Thank you for your time.
Sergeant Lewison, thank you very much. Are there any comments or questions from the council?
Thank you.
Appreciate it very
Thank you
much,
very
sir.
much.
An excellent report, and I remind all of our citizens that public safety is everybody's responsibility. It's not just our uniformed officers or our law enforcement organizations. It's everybody's responsibility. With that, we will move forward to the public participation. We have what appears to be about 4 or 5 speakers. Our first speaker will be Mr. Alan Ferdman, followed by George Kost, followed by Dave Stefko. Mr. Ferdman.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council members. My name is Alan Ferdman, and I am the Chair of the Canyon Country Advisory Committee. Again, Canvas residents are here to talk about traffic. We know that there is some resentment to neighborhoods bringing groups to the council meetings, but realistically it is effective, and Canvas residents are frustrated. These residents have been highlighting their traffic problem for several years. Traffic studies conducted by the city staff have shown a steady increase in traffic on Canvas since Linda Vista has been opened. The residents have tried other methods to have their voices heard, generating a petition with 250 signatures, and visits to the area by council members and city staff did not result in a fix for the problem. Therefore, this venue is all that is left, and hopefully you will listen carefully. 3 months ago, this issue was discussed at a council meeting. At that time, a senior traffic engineer was complimented for holding to his numbers. If I was that engineer, I would have taken exception, because another name for a numbers guy is a bureaucrat. And I'm sure you know what a bureaucrat is. He is a guy in the express lane that will debate for hours whether a 6-pack of Pepsi should be counted as 1 or 6 items. Instead, what Santa Clarita needs is creative thinkers and problem solvers. Now, with over 3,000 trips per day on Canvas, wasn't something supposed to happen? Instead, officials took a different tact. Citing a 1-day, 1-hour, 8:30 a.m. study, the traffic department announced that most of the traffic was generated within the neighborhood. As if that makes a difference. Doesn't that still show a problem exists? Isn't the result the same? Too much traffic being funneled into a residential street? Isn't the root cause the same? Inadequate planning. Next, at the council's direction, the traffic department sent out a survey to determine if closing Linda Vista would be supported by the local residents. But instead of sending the survey to the folks with the problem, the survey was sent to all the homes within approximately 3/4 of a mile. If that didn't prejudice the results enough, the recipients were asked if they would be willing to pay to resolve the issue. Included was a list of traffic calming devices, some unrealistic for the area, along with the cost of each. A proposal showing the number, types of traffic calming items, and cost per home was not included. Why? Because no solution had been identified. Plus, why should the existing residents be required to shoulder the cost of mitigating inadequate traffic planning? It's no surprise that a majority of the response was negative. Yet one area of the survey was indisputable. 2/3 of those residents responding thought their neighbor had a traffic problem. What our neighborhoods need are solutions, not excuses. We look to you as our representatives to be the advocate for our residents and drive the necessary solutions toward alleviating our neighborhood problems. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker will be Mr. George Kosk, and please help me with the proper pronunciation of your name, sir.
Yeah, my name is George Coast. I'm a resident in the Canvas, Linda Vista neighborhood. But I just wanted to say welcome City Council and Mr. Keller and all that. What I wanted to talk about is I'm here for 2 reasons. I'm here to support Ben's Road, okay? I really think we need to listen to our residents, okay? The residents in a neighborhood see a lot more than you see. You're not the ones that are there on a daily basis. If there's a problem in a neighborhood, you need to listen to the residents, as was not done at a meeting that was held at Mitchell School on, I believe it was a Thursday night in the end of May. There were two of your traffic engineers that were at Mitchell School to talk to the residents of the neighborhood. And they didn't talk to us for any reason whatsoever. They told us what their mind was made up before they even walked into that room. And that's not the way a city should be run. A city should be, it should be a give and take. It should be people listening to people. If you got a problem, let's fix it, okay? Their solution to this survey was a joke. This survey was sent to people that don't even know where the intersection of Linda Vista and Canvas is. I have friends that live down on Miss Grace, which was in the middle of the survey. Where's the intersection of Linda Vista and Canvas, they said. They hadn't even, and they were sent a survey. Okay, Mr. Yee and whoever made this survey up, that's really not good city practices. Our money goes to pay these people, and they need to do a better job of sending out a survey. You go send out a survey to Gailton, which was at the end of the survey, they have no clue where it was. They need to survey the people that live on the street that are affected by the traffic. Okay? That's what we need you to do. That's why we're here. I would rather be home tonight, okay? But no, I have a concern in my neighborhood that we need to do something about it. That's why we're asking you to do something about it. Have an open mind. How would you like that traffic in your neighborhood when you weren't surveyed before you? I mean, it's the city who built that new housing tract and approved it and had that road go through. It didn't work out. Let's put it back the way it was. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Mr. Dave Stefko, followed by Rich Smith.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen of the council, city council. Good evening. My name is Dave Stefko. I am a Sunset Heights resident on Linda Vista, and I'm here tonight to support the Benz Road residents' fight to protect their neighborhood from the highway now coming by their homes as it has on Canvas and Linda Vista. I want to share with you a recent meeting at Mitchell Elementary School, which you've heard something about with the last couple of gentlemen speaking, with your traffic engineers. That is applicable to all three of these streets, Canvas, Linda Vista, and Benz Road. The results of the ongoing investigation and the recommendations they propose on their survey are not likely to result in any real productive measure. And I tried to word my sentences in a business-like manner and not in the frustrated manner which was expressed to your engineers at this particular meeting. I wish you could have attended. Let me read to you some of the recommendations that must have cost taxpayers plenty. Not to mention the survey and the area that was surveyed, and you've already heard that, so I'm going to skip through that. Neighborhood intersection traffic circles, chicanes, chokers, neck downs, bulb outs, lateral lane shifts or center islands, half closures, semi-diagonal traffic diverters, and forced turn islands. These are just a few. Let me read you a definition that I looked up on a traffic diverter, and I didn't know what a chicane was either for a street until I looked it up. These physical barriers redirect traffic heading for a certain street into a different course, reducing vehicle overload on vulnerable, usually residential streets overrun by through traffic looking for shortcuts. Although they effectively reduce traffic volume, diverters must be part of a more comprehensive improvement scheme, or else they can end up simply displacing congestion. If we don't all who are here tonight representing their different streets and neighborhoods have cut through traffic, as you say, and your engineers say, then having any of these as an option doesn't make any sense. And it's cut through traffic that we're talking about. These recommendations are not sound. The fire department will not allow speed bumps. The rest will not fit or could back our locals up so far they wouldn't be able to get out of their driveways. These residential streets are just that, residential streets intended for use by the local residents to access their homes. They were never meant to be highways or, probably more correct, reliever access roads. Yet this is exactly what they become. And as the population grows, so will the traffic on our residential streets. We need to turn these increasingly dangerous highways back to the quiet access streets for their residents now before someone gets seriously hurt. While you wait, while you debate, while you delay hoping that this will go away, and I hate to believe that that's true, something's going to happen. A pet will get hit, a child will get hit, or some school mom will get T-boned trying to simply back out of her driveway. And these things are for real. I'll be very quick.
Out of time, Mr. Stefko.
Okay. These are our concerns, and we're going to have to keep pounding on these until we can get some satisfactory results. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time, sir. Rich Smith, followed by Nadine Teeter.
Good evening. My name is Rich Smith. I'm the president of the Sunset Heights Homeowners Association, representing 177 families that vote. We have felt since the incident that has happened over and over again, which appears to be nothing more than minor placation by the council. This has obviously gone on for years with Ben's Road. They were promised that if a certain factor was met, a major alternative would be found. Nothing has happened. It's smoke. Smoke does not keep people safe. We have a safety issue in our area and in their area. And as voters, we put you here to protect us, our needs, our bread and butter, so to speak, to keep us, keep us alive. Ms. Ender was voted in, I think, very strongly because of her, what was we believe to be her feelings on eliminating these cut-throughs. These devices do nothing more than jeopardize neighborhoods. We had a party for our neighborhood on Saturday. We had children out on Linda Vista. The adults spent 90% of the time yelling and screaming at 45-plus-mile-an-hour drivers. We believe that having put you in office for our benefit, basically, to take care of our needs, our wants, and to protect us, if something isn't done, as voters, we are going to take whatever steps are necessary to make sure that our needs are met. Now, I'm not talking about only Sunset Heights 177, but as a unit, we will put together every organization that's necessary to accumulate the votes that are necessary to bring this to the end that we need. We're not asking for things that are above and beyond. We're asking for safety. We're asking for protection. We're asking for security. Regardless of what the numbers show, we live it. And like they all say, a lot better things to do this evening than to be here. So please take us very seriously. We're very concerned. We're worried. We have near misses on a daily basis. And I'm not talking at low speeds, at extremely high speeds through there. That was not what the streets were designed for. That should not be what the streets are being used for. We have so many people across this valley that have seen this council make promises like Ben's Road. And in fact, when push comes to shove, nothing happens. It's another diversion. It's another what are we going to look into? That isn't going to cut it anymore, I'm afraid. We are going to unite. We will get what we deserve, nothing more, nothing less. You are our representatives. Ladies and gentlemen, please take us very seriously. We need your help. If you can't help us, we'll bring people in that can. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. And our final speaker will be Nadine Teeter.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. My name is Nadine Teeter. I've been a resident of Santa Clarita for 18 years. I live in the Canvas Street, Linda Vista neighborhood, and here speaking on behalf of myself and several other neighborhood members about our ongoing traffic problem. You can consider me and the others here tonight speaking on this issue the tip of the iceberg. I would first like to say in regards to the Ben's Road people, I feel like I'm looking in a mirror. I feel their pain, their aggravation, their frustration. Both our neighborhoods keep getting the same runaround. Secondly, I'd like to know, how does an agenda item that states preliminary findings recommending against the closure of Linda Vista and Canvas Street become a whole entire hillside traffic calming project? The neighborhood watch boundaries are irrelevant. There are two perspectives on this neighborhood traffic problem. The neighborhood's perspective, we have a problem. And the city staff's perspective, we don't see a problem. With that, there are two solutions. The neighborhoods, fix it. And the city staff's, solution for what? There is no problem. Meeting after meeting, traffic counts after traffic counts. Now a bias survey written in a manner to which the results reflected exactly what the staff wanted. Asking us for money, offering traffic calming devices that are comical and unrealistic, ones that don't meet the city warrants, and others that the city chooses not to utilize. Then came the neighborhood meeting on May 29th, apparently to give us an opportunity to hear the results and to comment on how the results will be presented to City Council on June 24th. Well, the results were inconclusive. There was no solution, and the meeting was just another waste of our time, merely another attempt to make us go away. The only thing that was accomplished is now we have more angry neighbors. It is amazing to me how staff picks and chooses when the input of a directly impacted street matters or when it doesn't. A no left turn on Deep Creek is a perfect example. At the March 11th council meeting regarding agenda item 16, preliminary findings recommending against the closure of Linda Vista Drive and Canvas Street, council directed staff back to my neighborhood to do appropriate community outreach and to return to council no later than June with a solution to this problem. On June 24th, you'll be presented with no solution. We have the solution. So does the city's website. It just needs to be implemented. Close Linda Vista. Thank you, and I'll see you on June 24th.
Thank you, Nadine. City Manager?
Thank you, Mayor. As was mentioned, this item will be before the City Council on June 24th. The council is actually precluded from taking any action on this evening in accordance with the Brown Act. But I would request that everybody keep an open mind on this, as some of the speakers indicated. And some of those comments that were made are not accurate information. I would ask that everybody keep an open mind until an opportunity is had on the 24th to present all the facts, and the council will weigh all of that and make a decision that is in the council's judgment in the best interest of the entire community. Thank you.
Thank you. This time we'll move into committee reports and council member comments. And Marcia, may we begin with you?
Sure. I have a few things I would like to share. First of all, I'm going to work a little bit backwards. On Monday, yesterday, it was really great to be in Sacramento and to testify before the Assembly Committee that is hearing SB 1180 on the Assembly side this time, and it seems to be moving forward, and that is to have Ellesmere Canyon be included in the Rim of the Valley Trail Corridor, something we've been wanting for a long time, and I was very happy yesterday and optimistic, and hopefully that will move on. I was up there with Michael Murphy, who knows everything there is to know about Sacramento. He's just really terrific, and so I really appreciated being able to take that trip. I just wanted to mention quickly that I was able to be at the installation of Zonta officers, the new officers, and outgoing Joanne Rodriguez. Zonta is a women's organization. It's a service organization that helps seniors. It helps with scholarships for young people, and the Boys and Girls Club, and many different organizations. And I just want to say congratulations to Joanne on that one. And then I was able to be at Bear Divide in, it's called Magic Mountain, but it's not really Magic Mountain. This is in the Angeles National Forest, and you go up Sand Canyon. And Buck McKeon had, along with Barbara Boxer, have introduced legislation for the California Wild Heritage Act, and Lori Ender can probably speak to you about that also. She was there. And if you could see this, it was just gorgeous. It was beautiful. And we had condors actually flying overhead at the time. And it's just one more area of open space And hopefully that legislation will pass and we can have just a little bit more open space for our future generations. And I just want to say to the residents that were here, we don't resent you coming at all, Mr. Ferdman. We want you to come. That's what we're here for. The problem is sometimes you come with angry statements before we've even heard it. And that bothers me a lot. We haven't had a chance to see the report. At the time, we specifically asked that we be brought some solutions, and I'm looking forward to seeing that. We are here to serve the residents, and until we see the item and until we get the information, we don't know what we're going to do or how it's going to turn out. And we would hope that you would kind of keep your anger not be quite so angry until after we've made the decision. Then if we make a decision you don't like, you can be as angry as you want. But we haven't seen the information, we haven't made any decisions. Thank you.
Frank?
This Saturday, we have the Boys and Girls Club auction. As you know, Jim Ventris, he's a living saint. The guy absolutely just amazing what he does for our youth, both in Canyon Country and the Newhall areas. I believe it's at 6 p.m. Out at the Mann Biomedical Facility. I'm sure they still would appreciate anyone that would come to participate in the silent and live auctions. I believe you can get that information from the city. Also tonight, as we honored our volleyball team from Valencia High School, Valencia High School also celebrated a CIF championship in girls softball. So we want to congratulate Donna Lee, who last year won CIF and was ranked #1 in the country as a softball team. So I'm sure we'll have Donna Lee and her entire team here, and we celebrate their CIF championship win.
Thank you, Frank. Lorene?
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to remind everybody that at 10 o'clock on Thursday, a very exciting thing will be happening, which is on June 12th, the groundbreaking for the expansion of the sports complex, which is just going to be an amazing project. Everyone is invited. If you want information, just call 259-CITY. But it is just it's a $25 million project. I don't want to go into the list of everything in it, but it is truly going to be one of the crown jewels for Santa Clarita forevermore, and I'm so pleased that we are able to see this come forth in actually not that many years since we purchased the land, probably about 7-8 years ago. But I'm very, very pleased, and hopefully everybody can come. Tuesday last week, I had the tremendous privilege of going with the city manager and Mike Murphy, our legislative analyst, out to the city of Victorville. And thank you, Bob, for giving me the honor to go represent the city. It was just really a wonderful opportunity to discuss with Victorville and share a presentation with them on HR 5887, the Soledad Canyon Mine Act, and to be so well received by them. They were gracious, they were supportive of our resolution with the CMEX issue here. They're extraordinarily confident that they can stand with us. It's a win-win for both cities, and I think it's truly a great partnership with Victorville. They will be lobbying in Washington with us. They support 100% Congressman McKeon's bill, and we couldn't have had a better partner than Victorville in supporting through this legislative solution, which truly does benefit both communities and certainly benefits the Southern California lifestyle that we have and that we all share and enjoy in our respective cities. So I thought it was a great effort, and I don't think that we could ask for more support than we have for Victorville. I did want people to know that if you can go to the city's website and see the information on the bill at santaclarita.com, there is a support form for individuals or groups, and sample letters and sample forms and sample resolutions online. We'd like to ask you to please take just a few minutes to fill it out. Please either fax it back to the city or mail it to the city of Santa Clarita. We really need that for our legislators out there. Other than our congressmen, we'll forward them on to all the legislators who will vote in Washington on this. They need to hear from you that this is something that truly is very, very supported by the community. So this is our opportunity, folks. It's taken a lot of years to get here, and we're in the home stretch. Everybody is moving in the same direction, and we really want to get this, all the support that's needed and get this done for our community. So I want to thank everyone for all the many years of support that they've given.
Thank you, Lori.
I had a couple things. Last week, the San Fernando Valley Business Journal held an award ceremony for the Women in Business Awards, and I am excited that we had 4 members of our city family who were nominated for those awards: Alicia Celestine, Erin Morley, Jessica Freud, and our Planning Commissioner, Diane Troutman. It's wonderful to have them included in this list of 100 business women in our community in the San Fernando Valley who are standouts. And very exciting that 2 of the big winners, actually 3 of the big winners for the night, are Santa Clarita residents. And so I just want to acknowledge Sherry Frazier and Lil Lepore, who are co-owners of Vino 100, and they received the award for Entrepreneurs of the Year. And Sherry Fleming from Valencia Acura was named Business Owner of the Year. So good kudos for Santa Clarita. And I also wanted to let everybody know that starting Monday, as you're driving around Santa Clarita at our various parks and locations and field trip areas, you're going to see lots of kids in bright t-shirts because Camp Clarita starts on Monday. And I wanted to wish city staff and all the counselors and hundreds and hundreds of kids a wonderful time at camp. This is probably one of the highlights, I think, of the things that we offer to kids in this community, and it's going to be fun to see them. So honk and wave when you drive by.
Thank you, Lori. A couple of comments, if I may. Last week I had an opportunity to attend a conference for contract cities. It's always an important annual event that the city manager was able to attend as well, and we always benefit and enjoy representing the city at that conference. Also, a couple of things with the elementary schools. I got to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that one of the highlights of being on the city council is an opportunity to go to the schools at any level. I openly tell you, I get a bigger kick out of it than I would have ever thought that I would. But last week I had an opportunity to go to Mountain View Elementary. And the PTA, I believe she's the director, Mrs. Stevenson, came up with a program that I thought was just a great program, wherein they came forward and the 6th graders in the school were given an opportunity to accumulate X number of points for volunteerism, be it at the school or in the community, but it had to be recognized volunteerism, and they gained points for it. And then the city, we were invited to participate in the recognition, acknowledging these young people that had made such a contribution in assisting others. I thought it was such a great way of teaching people at a young age the importance of caring for your neighbor and doing good things in the community. So my compliments to Mrs. Stevens and all of the people that made that program possible. We gave certificates out to probably 60 plus youngsters at Mountain View, and it was a real enjoyable experience. This morning, had an opportunity to go over to Plum Canyon Elementary. And there's a teacher over there, I've known her for a long time. She is a delightful lady, and what an accomplished teacher. Her name is Diane Fotorero, and she's been with that school for many, many years. She has received countless recognitions for her ability to teach, and she's got a room full of first graders. And once again, I had the privilege of going to her classroom and talking to her youngsters and giving them some mementos from the city of Santa Clarita. So my compliments to Diane Fotorero and Plum Canyon Elementary for the phenomenal job. I've said this before, and I know you agree. If you've got children out there, you recognize we are so fortunate, ladies and gentlemen, to have such fine schools here in Santa Clarita. It truly is a huge issue for this community, and they do just a phenomenal job in instructing our young people at all levels, I assure you. Lorene, you covered the CMEX matter. On a sadder note, if I may, I wanted to acknowledge a lady. They had a write-up about her in our Signal the other day, Susie Hamlin. And I recognize as I've gotten older, and there's a few people out there that are close to my age, and you may recall, but the Hamlins truly were a remarkable couple. Stuart Hamlin, her husband, they were married in 1933. They were a mainstay for the Rose Parade each and every year. They were in it for 30, 40 years, riding their paseos. And They were neighbors of mine, lived down the street a few doors, and I had the privilege of getting to know them. And I found it so interesting to meet the two of them as time went on, and they were, as I say, my neighbor. I'd go down there and compliment them on their horses, and got to talking with Stuart Hamlin. And he was a remarkable man. He was something we really don't get much of anymore, but a storyteller. And I will assure you, and he certainly did me, I had an impact on me. Every Sunday morning, I'd be out working in my barn, and I'd turn on the cowboy hour with Stuart Hamlin and listen to his storytelling and talking about the Lord. He was phenomenal. I would never miss the cowboy church on Sunday mornings, I assure you. But I had the privilege of shaking his hand many times as he became my neighbor, and of course he passed on years ago, and now Susie passed on. She was 101 years old. And she was quite an entertainer and an individual in her own right, I assure you. But we will miss her. She and her husband have been phenomenal neighbors of mine for many, many years.
The City of Santa Clarita is offering underwater hockey at the Aquatic Center to residents of all ages. No registration is necessary, and those interested in participating can simply show up at the Aquatic Center on Wednesday nights, where games are played from 7:30 p.m. until 9 p.m. The Aquatic Center provides all of the necessary equipment for the games, which are held in the 50-meter pool. The cost is only $3 for use of the equipment and facilities.
Pregnant? Scared? Alone? Sometimes knowing where to go for help is half the battle. You want straight, honest answers you can trust. At the SCV Pregnancy Center, you'll receive the personal care and support you need to make informed decisions at this important time in your life. The choice is yours. Choose to know. All services are free.